big with 2 G's. I'm going to repeat that. That's big with 2 G's. So we back with another episode of the BiGG Umbrella Podcast. That's big with 2 G's. I'm going to repeat that. That's big with 2 G's, the BiGG Umbrella Podcast. And we got Gino. Some of y'all may know him as Simply G Mills, but I'll let him determine what y'all want to know him as. We got Gino here. We in the building.
What's up, bro? Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Shit, it was a pleasure for us, for you, like I told you earlier, for you to even giving us this time. We always start off, so where are you from? I know, I believe Seaside, but I'm not going to fuck up or nothing what you got, so I'm going to let you explain that.
Yeah, so I'm from Seaside, California, and then I went to San Diego State University, and I decided to stay here once I graduated in 2009, so that's how I ended up staying in San Diego.
So Seaside, was you was in high school in Seaside?
Yeah, I went to high school in Seaside. I went to middle school in Seaside, and I grew up in Pebble Beach.
Oh, that's where they got the good golf course.
Yeah, they got.
Yeah, I ain't never played there, but I heard good things. You know, on PGA Tour 2023.
Yeah, so I played my fair share of golf. So.
Oh, okay, yeah, I love that shit. I mean, you know,
you were really playing golf?
Oh, I ain't fronting. That's on some real shit. I be really playing.
That's tight.
That's
so I played golf in high school. I was on the golf team.
Oh, see, that's different. You was on a real team. I'm not on no team. I just picked it up really like later.
Yeah, but I was on a golf team at Seaside High School, so it was like.
How was that like? Because I know golf players is not looking like you, and you in here in a golf team.
So literally, I'll go to golf practice,
and that's even outside you with your race and shit. They be like, "Yo, what the fuck he out here doing?" And was you good?
I was good.
Okay.
Good.
Damn, and that
I was good in golf, and then but also golf and track were in the same season, so I would throw shot put and discus, and then go play in golf matches.
Was you doing numbers which I always fuck up that word. You said shot put, right?
Yeah, shot
there we
put.
go. Yeah. Was you doing numbers with that? You was throwing them far?
I threw a 61.
I don't know if that's good or not.
So my senior year, I was the only one that went to the state championship.
Then that's good. Unless everybody was trash, then that's good. So life in Seaside, what was that? Because we already just starting off. What was life like for you in Seaside? When you growing up out there in Seaside, did you have your mom and your pops around?
I did. I'd have my mom and pops around. Seaside was very, it was a small city.
Mm-hmm.
I believe driving, I would see a population of like 130,000 people.
Damn.
So it was literally like Monterey, Seaside, and then Marina. So Seaside was a very small part of like I would say the Central Bay.
Mm-hmm. And with you growing up in Seaside, did you have you had siblings with you?
Yeah,
growing up out there?
I have 4 older brothers. I'm the youngest out of 5.
Also, so all just boys.
Yeah, all boys.
Also, there was some roughhousing going on in there.
It was for sure until like I reached like freshman year of high school, and then I started become bigger than all of them. So.
I was just about to ask. So, because it usually be like the youngest one end up being like the biggest or the tallest out of everybody.
It's weird how that works out, but yeah, I was like, now I am the biggest out of my 5 brothers. By a big difference. So whenever we take family pictures, it's kind of funny just seeing like the transition from me and being the smallest to now the biggest.
Yeah. Do they look at that now and be like, God damn, I remember when you was like a little youngster?
They probably do, but they probably don't say nothing about it, which they don't, just because like
they're not gonna give you.
I mean, I come from a very cultural background, so my eldest brother is my eldest brother. I'm still going to show him the same respect, regardless.
With you saying you come from a cultural background, one of my last past podcasts, dude was saying how in Filipino families, they dad don't really say I love you. They show you I love you by I got the lights on, you got clothes on. Is that the same thing that you felt growing up? I mean, obviously, that's not everybody's story. I'm just going off of what I've been told with a couple of these.
For me, yes. Like my pops he's been like the rock of everything. Like he didn't have much education. He barely graduated middle school. So for me, it is a very like, you didn't know this, but it's a very touchy subject for me. Just because like the reason why I do everything is to pay it forward, like to what especially my pops did and my family did. And like we are in the States out of my whole family in the Philippines. So like a big reason of my why is my pops. Mm-hmm. So for sure, whoever you interviewed in the past and I don't know if he had a Filipino culture background, but my pops said no, he didn't really say I love you a lot, but he did a lot to show me.
So with him, because a lot of people, like the one last person I talked to, with him not telling you that I love you, growing up, did that feel like you didn't feel that love, or you just knew because of what he was doing for you?
With me, I guess I would say actions speak more than everything.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't need someone to tell you that I love you, because what they're doing would show 100%, would tell you if they loved you or not, regardless if they say it every day or not. Like, I don't know if you guys have like significant others or anything, and like
I do, yes.
I probably don't say it enough how much I love them, but I would do my due diligence and 100% to show them that I love them even without saying it. So I could see why they said that.
See, so in that sense, like you just brought up, you having your significant other. Now, growing up with your pops, like doing that for you, it's like, now, is that something you then continue, or is this you want to change? And if that is the case, are they okay with you not saying how much I love you, more so showing how much I love you?
I guess it just all depends on the situation. Regardless of like the situation, you have to be a good partner and understand that if that's something they want to hear, if that's something the reassurance they need, then you should be able to give that to them. Like, it's not against anything that I have, just say it or not. But if I feel it's something they need, then I will give that to them.
So with your pops, the one not actually being the one that's actually just showing you more. So was your mom more so the one with the TLC, tender loving Kevin, telling you, I love you?
I think it's every situation is difficult, like different, just because like I am the youngest out of 5 boys. So.
And you would think you the one that they're going to show all the love.
Yes. But then obviously at the end of the day, I'm like the last one out of the 5 boys, and they probably put up with a lot of shit during that time. So once they came down to me, they're like, you're good. Like, you're just like, they went through it. So then like, but I think my mom just had to be really tough on all of us, especially dealing with 5 boys. So it was just different. Like, my mom was very tough, and I understand it. I respect it 100%.
Damn. See, so in some people's cases, like you kind of expressed, like neither of them was kind of more so the one telling you. They was more so I had to just show you, and it was kind of like that tough love, and that may stray somebody a different path from both parents, instead of one being this way and the other being this way, was both like showing tough love. How did that not affect you negatively, or did it?
Maybe I never like thought of it like that. I guess like,
because I mean, in most people's situation, it'd be like, if my dad wasn't there, usually my mom was the one being like, oh, how much, I want to, show me the TLC, but my pops wasn't there doing it, or my dad was locked up, or he just wasn't there, or whatever the case is, somebody, or my mom wasn't doing it, but my dad was doing it. But for your case, it was on both ends, so it was like none of them was really telling you that type of want to cater to you and type of deal. It was more so I'm just showing you by what we do for you.
I mean, I guess like my pops was always working 3 jobs. So like,
so that was hard for him to even be there.
Yeah, just to even be there. And I understood that 100%. Like,
right.
You're going to have to provide for your family. He was working all the time. So I couldn't be upset that he couldn't make it to any of my games or any of my, like, anything like that. And then my parents were just always hardworking. So I always understood like what it took, like the worth ethic it took. So to me, it just wasn't like it. Maybe I never realized that if I took it in a negative way. I just knew in the back of my head that like I didn't want my family to go through this. Like, I didn't want like my future, like whatever I do in the future, I don't want them to have to go through this. Like,
so even though you respected what your parents were doing, you, in the back of your mind, is like, this is not really what I want.
Exactly.
For my
so
family,
to me, there was something I want to learn from, something I want to grow from, something like I understood why they did it, but I want to figure out a different way to make it happen.
So is that more so why you came about starting this business for yourself, or what even established you to have the entrepreneurial mindset anyway?
So when I was growing up, we had a catering company back home.
So you was already in the kitchen.
We had a restaurant when I was like 8 years old, and it didn't do well. It failed. I can't remember, but I think I was like 10 or 11.
And I mean, there wasn't much that you could do to take
Exactly.
over.
And now that I think, I was like, damn, I wish they would have opened it up while I was like this age now.
Right. It's like now that shit would have been booming.
And then like, because it was in one of the wealthiest places. It was in the Barnyard up in Carmel Valley, one of the richest places in like the area that we lived in. Like, so it was surrounded by money.
Right.
But like at the end of the day, like if you have something and don't market it well, it's not going to get anyone's attention. So then like that's what I was thinking. But like, damn, I wish I was there when they opened it. But nothing. I was helping in the kitchen at like 8, 9 years old. Like that's why I became a morning person. It's my pops.
Was that your first job?
Yeah, for sure. It was my first job. Because I literally would wake up with my pops.
And you was getting paid.
We'll talk about that later.
Okay. Yeah, no doubt. There we go. That happened. This is there. That's now. Yep.
So then I would wake up at like 5 a.m. and then go help my pops in the kitchen.
Yeah.
And then he'll drop me off to kindergarten.
Kindergarten.
He would drop me off to kindergarten because we lived in like.
You was already working at kindergarten.
I don't like to
People
me.
People trying to learn ABCs and shit.
To me, I didn't think of it as work. You know, it's just like my pops had to go do something. I need to go to school. I need to go with my pops at this time. Like it was just something that happened. Yeah. I didn't like at the time I didn't realize like, but I mean, to me, it's a big reason why I'm a morning person. Because to this day, it's like I enjoy waking up early. I'm more productive when I wake up early. So I think that's why I am the way I am.
What brought you? Well, first you already start off at the kitchen. What made you feel like, okay, I actually got something going here with this? I can start a business for myself.
It's a lot of things. I think like one of the biggest things was more so when I was in high school. I always had like a hustler mentality. I always try to find ways to make money. I would always.
You feel like that established that from already at an early age, which you were already working in the business already.
Yeah, I think like seeing my parents open up a restaurant, it showed me that like you don't have to work for someone to make money. So I would always think of creative ways to make money. And to this day, like one of the most, to me, like I didn't realize at the time, but when I was in high school, I would throw like high school dances. So in high school, I would rent.
What type of dances? This is at your house?
No, this was I would rent out in high school.
You was renting out shit in high school?
I would rent out like a community hall.
Is this a freaky deaky type of dance? Or we talking about like a slow dance, like we like two-stepping type of deal? Or we in there?
No, honestly, it was 15 to 18.
Oh, y'all was getting freaky deaky up in there.
Because
there was not two-stepping.
There was nothing like for teenagers at that time to go to, right? So I was like,
and this is Seaside. This will put a hump in your back and say, "Hey, with Too Short, y'all, hey, this is a different party."
So what I would do, I literally would promote the dance, and then I would print out wristbands. Right, I would buy wristbands off
official.
I would print out wristbands from. There was a website I would go to, and you can't take them off. So I would give them out to like the most popular people at like 6 different high schools. So if you saw them wearing the that means they're coming to the dance on Friday.
Yeah.
So then I would charge a cover charge every time they come in. And then I hired a DJ. Shout out to my boy DJ Nito. Like we have these flyers to this day, and like
you kept the flyers.
Oh yeah,
that's like, what's up. That's hella. You really look back on them. Yeah, because
they're like, and then everyone would be talking about, yo, are you going to G Money's dance? Are you going to G Money's dance? And like everyone would show up to these dances. And the first dance I made, I probably made like $4,000 off the first dance. I was like, damn. At that time I was like,
that means you had a grip of people up in this hall.
Oh, it was like a full capacity. It was at full capacity, and then I didn't have security guards, so I had to.
And plus, at this point, you said it was 15 to 18. You can't go to the club and everything, and so you 15. It's like, yo, I can still basically do the club stuff right here with all the people I know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then I didn't have like security, so I hit up my football coach. And I was like, are you guys, like, the coaches help become security for the dances?
That's wild.
And then I would make a donation to the football team. So then it would be like a sports affiliated like thing. So.
And they was for real doing security.
Yeah, they were like, make sure all the exits were like good. Make sure no one's like drinking alcohol. So it was like Yeah, you had to have security. It was just like,
Oh yeah, because they made
because
me
we were in
wallet.
Seaside, so there's like, it was right next to Salinas, it was right next to like Marina, so there's like a lot of people in the cities that like a lot of things were good. So we ended it right at like 10 o'clock and then pushed it to 11, and then everyone just left, but it became a thing. It was like
they know it's going down
Yeah.
every Friday or however whatever you say is about to be going down.
So that was like one of my first moneymakers in high school.
And then from that, what after that, like, okay, now you're doing a party thing. What made you be like, okay, this ain't it no more?
I think it was moving on to the next thing was playing football at San Diego State.
Okay.
So I went to San Diego State. I knew I was going to go there since my junior year or sophomore year of high school.
Somebody already talked to you about it, or you just wanted to go there?
So I was on a program, Upward Bound. And so we would visit colleges every summer since my freshman year. So I probably...
So they was already intrigued with like already seeing, okay, he might be doing something.
Yeah, so I already I visited like USC, UCLA, like USD, Sac State, San Jose State, probably like all like UC Santa Barbara, like every like USD.
That's a lot on you.
So then but the moment I stepped on campus at San Diego State University, I was like, I'm going to this college.
Mm-hmm.
Like regardless, like football or not, like I'm going here.
Yeah.
I just like fell in love with the campus.
What was it?
I honestly like I can't explain it. Oh, like you ever like...
It was a feeling you had?
Yeah, it was just like when I walked on campus, because at the time we stayed at UCSD. So for me to walk on to SCSU, and it was just something like, I'm going here. It was just something just clicked, and like
you said, football or not, I'm going here.
I'm going here. This is where I want to go. Like so luckily I was able to go there. I played football. That's how I met like Chris and everything. So
what position was you playing in football there?
Nose guard over there.
Is that what you intentionally wanted to do, or that was more so that's what you fell into?
I love playing football, but realistically, I had to look at it from like a standpoint that like, was it something I was able to pursue as a career? And it wasn't. But was it something that I could do in college? Yes, I was good enough to do in college, so I might as well pursue it.
What made you come to the like, okay, football ain't it for me?
I guess while I was playing football, I was the GM of one of San Diego's biggest catering company,
So you were still in the kitchen for real?
Oh, I was always working. I'm used to working, so like I was like one of the only players that had a job playing on San Diego State.
Mm-hmm.
So I just knew, but at that time, like I was making really good money, and like I knew football was not like you couldn't like depend on it, you know. And I was like, to me, I wanted a career. I wanted like something I could depend on, and I knew like corporate catering was. I was really good in food. I was really good in catering, so that's where like corporate catering come into play, and that's where I was there for a server. I came out on a server, and then within the first year, I became the general manager of the company. I was like 21 years old. I was still full time at SCSU. Like I was going in between classes, like calling clients. We did 400 events a year. Logistically, it was a nightmare. I was very stressed. Yes. But did I love it? Yes. Because I was good at it.
I was just about to say, like, that's early on already basically handling a full on business. How did you even manage your mental health in between time and dealing with your family and everything else you got going on, football and everything else? It's like, how did you even compartmentalize this shit? Like,
honestly, like
you said, that shit was stressful.
Mental health to me, mental health didn't even exist. Like that wasn't even talked about.
So if you was feeling depressed or you was feeling anxious, whatever, that was just like,
people go through this. So this is not something like I'm going to feel sad about or nothing. I just this is something people always deal with. This is like mental health wasn't even an issue at the time. That's
a funny shit. I was actually watching this podcast today. They was talking about how much men are like, basically you're taught to, if like, so say like you feeling depressed, oh man, you a bitch.
Exactly.
If you show your girl love, oh you a fucking simp for that. This nigga's a bitch. If you fucking if you crying, like you better stop crying. Like what the fuck you crying for, dog?
And that's how
and you really taught to like, because it's forced on you so much that to the point when you get older, you then thinking like, I was thinking like you acting like a bitch. You over here crying like that's what my dad told me. That's what my homie told me. Like everybody told me that. So it's like that must be true. But then when you really grow up and start thinking outside the box, you be like, I wasn't a bitch because I was sad. I was sad because I was going through this shit. I wasn't a bitch. I just didn't know how to deal with the shit.
But society puts on the persona that like
a man, you got to be like this all the time.
You can't show any emotion. You got to be alpha at all times.
Ain't that wild to tell you if you show your girl love, you a simp?
Yeah.
That's the wildest. Like after thinking about that shit, and I mean, I remember the movies. That was the cool thing. Like you don't do that, but that's the funniest shit. If you show your girl love, you was a simp.
Yeah, and it's crazy as part because like nowadays, like women have a lot to offer, and like one of the 100%. Biggest thing is like something they can't offer that you like. I mean, something they do offer that you don't see a lot is their love. So like, if you talk to any of your boys or any girls or just anyone in general, like if you're having a bad day, a lot of it has to do with your relationship with your girl.
That's for 100%. It'd be shit that you be dwelling on. So what you even touch on it? How do you keep your relationship solid? With you even having to run this big business and everything else you got going? I mean, just daily life shit. How do you even manage to keep a healthy relationship for yourself?
I think it's me. Honestly, I just have a lot.
And this is you personally. Obviously, you ain't gonna work for the fucking world. But,
I don't want to speak for whoever or anything.
We speaking for Gino.
But yeah, I have a lot to learn. I'm very I'm very stubborn. I don't communicate enough. So that's a lot of stuff I got to work on for sure. And
they'd be like, yo, you need to actually speak on that. But he'd be like, I did. But you really fucking didn't, because I'll be having to realize that shit. They'd be like, well, I need to hear more what you're saying. I'm like, I fucking told you everything. Where was you at today? I was with my boy and we was chilling. I told you everything I fucking did today. Well, what was you doing? I just fucking told you. But that's not enough. So like you said, I'll be stubborn and shit, and I'll be having to then be like, okay, evaluate what I just did.
Yeah.
Maybe I might have fucked up on that. But like you said, stubborn. When you be stubborn too on top of that, you'd be like, I ain't tripping, she tripping.
And stop realizing like how you react to things in certain ways.
That'd be the biggest shit. How
you then, react to shit. React to something and then they react a certain way, and then now it just becomes like
it's just building. When we could have just killed that shit right there because I know I fucked up, but I really didn't want to say that at the time or whatever the case may be. And okay, I thought about it. Okay, I fucked up. But now when I come back and tell you I fucked up, don't try to hold that against me. Like, oh, well, I told you. Yo, okay, I told you I fucked up. Now we on the same level, and let's keep it pushing. Now, if you tell me like, well, I fucked up, I'm like, yo, you know what? I didn't fuck up. You fucked up now. You know what? Fuck that.
Yeah,
I was
trying to be apologetic
with your ass. It'd be like that. So no, I definitely understand. And for you to even realize that, that's already a bigger step for most people that even won't even come to terms with that.
Yeah.
With you and well, I mean, I don't know how comfortable you talking about relationship and shit, but I mean, because everybody in them and everybody go through shit. How long have you been in yours? Oh shit! I should not have said that. God damn. You just an average, just a number, just something. It ain't got to be the exact month and day.
No,
not even a year. You can even be a year
we're
off.
coming to a year now.
Yeah,
almost a year.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, we almost at a year. Yeah. That's all. I didn't. That was on me. So we gonna actually talk about how you came up with the name. Simply G Mills. That's what I actually was about to say. Anyways, because we know y'all been together for like a year, so we was actually about to talk.
Can I get a shot?
Please? Yeah. We needed a shot. He needed something else.
Can I have a shot, please?
That Terramana we got going. We love that. Terramana. You know who we talking to? Yeah. Because you ain't gonna ever send the Uber. You gonna send it the truck, like Drake say. You'll never send it the Uber. You gonna send it the truck. But yeah, we definitely about to figure out how we came up with this name, Simply G Mills, because that's interesting as fuck.
Take you, man.
Uh-huh.
You need one? You good?
Hey, let me.
How long have you been together?
Cheers.
Mm-hmm. Y'all been together finally for 6 years now. To be honest, y'all been like 6 years deep.
In dog years, yeah.
Nah, for real years. Y'all been like 6 years deep. Mm-hmm. And we gonna keep it at that.
Wait, how long you guys been?
Oh shit, we get on everybody's case. God
what?
Damn.
Oh shit! Congratulations.
Oh shit! He said 5 hours. Don't forget the 32 seconds. And the
He made.
milliseconds
Oh my
too?
god! He made
the milliseconds too.
He made that shit up. he didn't even know what time we worked out today. He was like, but now all of a sudden he was like, he's like, Siri, how long?
She's like, where that thing at? I'm like, hey, we gonna do that next episode when we got you on here, Chris.
Yeah,
we gonna definitely hop into that because yeah, that's another time. But for the Simply G meals, what made you even come up with that name? Did it have anything to do with your name, or because you was already going by G Money?
Yeah, I don't remember how it came or anything, but Chris was actually the one. We started the company together, so like what
got you even so tight with him?
We played football together at San Diego State.
Yeah,
and
because I know there was other dudes right there you playing with, but what made you like really connect?
I don't know. I don't think at the time I realized it, but I'm really big on energy, and like me and Chris just like kicked it off. You know, like someone you meet at the first time, you're like,
my dog.
Yeah, he's like,
and he continued to show this is my dog.
Yeah, and it's just like it was just something I always had with Chris, and like even to this day, like you meet a lot of people throughout your life, but like the people that you like hang out with normal, or you talk to normal, like I don't really talk to a lot of people, and like in general I know a lot of people, but talk to them, right? They're different, like your friends, your homies, your acquaintances, they all like vary. So
that's different.
Yeah, so just knowing like Chris, I guess we just clicked when we met, and it just never changed since.
What even inspired the type of meals you always do? You stick to a certain type of meal that you make, or it's always something different?
So I like to throw in like my chef specials just because I love cooking. But when it comes to Simply G meals, if there is like a certain type, I just wanted to be something realistic with the meal preps. Like, yes, we deal with like a lot of like bodybuilders that like want certain macros, certain like no salt or anything, but you have to be realistic from a standpoint to be like, if you want to have your customers and you want to retain your customers, you're going to want good food. Right. So then I try to think of certain recipes that are somewhat like on the healthier side, but also like it's something they could look forward to eating because
we had your meals, and that's shit. I'll be looking forward to eating that shit, no doubt.
Yeah, and so that's like I like to apply that. A lot of like the meal prep companies, they would just put out very bland things. Like they put out like stuff like
damn, I gotta add some salt and some other.
So they'll have clients, but the biggest thing is the reason why I've been in business for six years now is just because like
6 years
I've been able to retain my clients. I tell my clients, if you guys want to go with another meal prep company, go for it. Like, because I want them to switch everything up. Like, I'm okay. Like, that's fine with me. Like, I want you guys to enjoy what you eat. So to me, it's like there is like enough for everyone to eat from.
And do you also cook vegan meals, or you stick with meat?
I try to cook like vegan meals, but then like it just from a inventory standpoint, it was a lot. Like to me, it was like trying to focus on something I'm not really like comfortable with.
Right, because most people aren't coming to you for the vegan meals.
So we do have a good amount of vegan clients. So we would like refer them to other companies, just because like I'd rather have them feel more comfortable with another company than come to mine and be somewhat like okay with it. You know, I like to focus on what I'm good at, which is like putting out good quality food with proteins that I know about, with ingredients I know about, instead of like trying to fake something and be like, I'm gonna put on a vegan dish that like I looked up on like Google. Right. You know, so that's not even really my flavor. And I was like, I'll worried about catering to my like 4,000 clients that love like the food that I put out.
4,000 clients. That's like, god damn. And that's like coming, like you said, 6 years in, you got 4,000 clients that consistently come to you for meals. Yeah. That's numbers. That's like for reals. Like I remember you said, I don't want to even put your numbers out there. It was like 10 people. You already getting that type of money. That's
those are my private cooking events that I do. So and those are like that to me. That private cooking stuff is like different. Like to me, that's like they want me there. They want me to showcase my food. That's that's a whole different ballpark. Like to me, that's like.
What brought you to know your value? To know that, like, you know what? No, I'm actually not gonna do that. I'm actually worth this. What was the point that you was like, okay?
Honestly, I always stood on like certain like landmarks, certain like I always wanted certain goals, and like one of my goals were, as of like 3 years ago, was to make $700 an hour, regardless, like 24 hours a day. I was gonna find a way to make $700 an hour.
What made you that number? You did some math after 24 hours, or what brought you to 700?
I think I did some math and how much I want to make like in a year, and to make sure I value my time, that like if someone's gonna ask me to come do something, I'm gonna make sure it's gonna be worth that time.
Mm-hmm.
So even if it's like coming to cook for something or coming to help them with something, if like it's not something that I want to do out of the goodness of like what I want to do, then I'm gonna make sure that like I'm gonna value my time, so it's gonna be this worth. Mm-hmm. To me, that was just like, it's very important to understand your worth and what you do, and like to you, it's gonna like, yes, you're gonna lose out like on a lot of business, but people are gonna see that, they're gonna realize that, like
they know like that's what his price is.
Exactly.
Like, we're not even gonna try to lowball him no more, because we know that's not
exactly. And like that's what I wanted to do. That's what I've been doing. Like there's like when people say like understand your worth, like it's that simple. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
I cook this effortless meal like in a matter of like 1 hour, but people don't understand. It took me 10 years to cook it this simple. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like I did it effortlessly, but they don't understand the work I put in. Yeah, it's
like I do it like that now, but back then it wasn't like that.
Yeah, I probably did this dish 100 times before I even like mastered it. Now I could do it with my eyes closed. But people think like, oh, you could do it in like an hour, but they don't realize how long it took me to get to that hour to make it. So like,
what was your first year like in business?
It was
and at this point, was you still working with Chris in your first year?
So me and Chris opened up Simply G Meals. So like it was out of my townhome. We did
and this is out here, and this is Daygo at this point?
Yeah, it was in Daygo. Okay. I had a townhome, Mission Valley. I had like 70.
Okay, you was in a nice little area.
I got lucky.
Okay.
Because trust me, like I'll look for deals.
Oh yeah.
So we were looking like
a deal, because Mission Valley is one of them.
I had a 4-bedroom townhome for $2,200, and I lived with we were called the Bay House. I had like 3 homies that we lived with, and then Chris,
so y'all was able to divvy up that rent.
Yeah,
so that was looking good.
It was like we had 4 of that, and this was our 3rd house. So, but that's the house we started the meal prep company with, and I had like $75 I think it was like $26. Made my first 10 meals, and it was for Chris's client Ray. And then he paid $75 for the 10 meals I made. Mm-hmm. So then I was like, damn, like there's
some money to be made here.
Yeah.
It's a business.
But you got to think of it, in 2015, 2016, meal prep did not really exist. Mm-hmm. When you think of meal prep,
about some goddamn TV dinners and the Hungry Man.
You're thinking about lean cuisines. When you go to Albertsons, you're thinking about the frozen food section.
Oh yeah.
There's maybe Plated, which was you get a box of food and you cook it yourself.
And that shit was not good.
Yeah, they had like,
not even when you add the season, that shit was still boo-boo. Like you didn't even know that was meat.
Yeah.
But whatever the fuck that was, you was eating. If you didn't have it, you was like, yo, we got 100%. A whole fucking Hungry Man up in here. Yeah, that was some TV dinners and shit, but nah, this ain't no TV dinner. We know that.
So yeah, it was like that's when we started Simply G Meals, and then we went to then we got more clients, and we moved into another house, which was
in that first year, did you even get the type of support you thought you was going to be getting, or what did it excel past that?
I mean, I think everything was just word of mouth. Mm-hmm. So it's not like you could post something on social media and it like grow. Like, it wasn't like everything that grew at that point was more so word of mouth. Mm-hmm. So it didn't grow like how like something you could put out today, and
because you could put that and share that with millions of
exactly
people.
Right. And I think if it happened during time, yes, it would have blown up. Like just
that probably made you even grind harder.
To me, but I didn't understand at that point that I feel like you're gonna have to grind regardless of what you do.
Right.
You're gonna have to put that effort to get it out there.
That
You're gonna put that,
consistency.
you're gonna have to be very consistent. And that's probably one of the things why I'm successful today is because like I was very consistent of what I do. From literally like making meals every Monday. Like I know a lot of people that started meal prep companies, even a lot of my close friends that started meal prep companies.
And did they start them off of what they saw you was doing, or they was already starting it?
I don't want to speak about that,
Okay.
but it was
There
like
we go.
more so like
They was doing it.
They was doing it.
And it just didn't work.
It didn't work. And then like I knew one of the biggest things was consistency, but more so execution. If you like, you have to know how to execute properly.
Because you can't be consistently shitty.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It gotta
you gotta
be,
know
you
your
gotta
numbers.
elevate at some point. You're like, yo, okay, we consistent, but this shit is still trash.
You gotta realize like you have to know what you're buying, what's the cost of it, and your buying power when it comes to it. So I'm able to produce a lot of meals at X amount of dollars, make deals with a lot of meat vendors, produce vendors. So then I commit to X amount of meat without dealing with the ups and downs of the market.
So I know you've even dealt with bigger clients. I mean, one that I seen was G-Eazy. What was that even experience like? Was it like when you deal with these bigger clients? I mean, I'm sure you put in the same effort you put in for everybody. What was the treatment like for you? Did you feel like this was a big check, like a big check mark on your list, or this was another client for you?
To me, it was just like, I was very appreciative to be able to like showcase my food to someone like I looked up to. Like it wasn't more so.
This
like,
is from like the city for you. And
yeah,
shit.
This is just like I'm from the Bay. He's from the Bay. Like, and I do cook for a big amount of names, but like to me, it was just like I'm gonna just do my thing. Like, and I know they're gonna love it. Like I'm just very confident when it comes to that stuff.
Yeah, because you know how good your shit is already.
Yeah, I just know that when they try it, they're gonna love it. And
what was your like? So now you've been doing your thing. Have your parents came to you and told you how proud they are of you so far now? You can't say this been some goddamn years. They told you something.
Honestly, I don't think they realize what I do.
No fucking way.
They don't know that I cook for like a lot of people. They don't know like
they gotta know the revenue or what. Even if they don't know what the hell you're doing, they gotta know the fucking money that you bringing in this motherfucker.
Yeah,
there's some cameras here for you. It's like they got somebody here for you for something. Niggas not here for nothing. So they gotta know something. They had to tell you at some point, son, I am so proud of what you have done and what you have accomplished.
I think it to me like I don't know. I think that's always made me hungry.
By them not telling you?
Just like not really like showing anything.
See, so you said that make you more hungry. Did that make you more hungry, or you kind of now, since it wasn't coming to you, it was more so normalized?
I guess so normalized. Like that, I was like,
because there's no way. Like there's like me. I don't even fucking know you very long, and I'm goddamn proud of you from just what I've known. So it's like there's no way. I guess even if they haven't told you, that they don't feel that way. But like, I mean, that's also coming from a different generation where maybe the way they showing you they proud of you is by, I mean, just in a different way. I don't know your family like that, so I'm not going to speak on that. But just to not get that, I would feel like that'll be, like you said, it more so push you. But just me, for myself, I would have been like, damn, why ain't you told me, like, you know, like, you notice what I've been doing? I mean, obviously I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing because I love it. But the fact that you haven't told me that you see what I'm doing is like, that's kind of strange that you ain't told me at all after all this time. And you see what I'm doing.
I guess it's just like, I'm just so used to it, honestly.
You don't want that?
It's not.
Would that even mean anything to you if they were now to tell you at this point how proud that they are of you from what you've accomplished? Even outside of cooking, you went to school and everything else. So it was like not even just focusing on what you're doing with your business.
I think what I had to teach myself in general was just like not expect anything from anyone. I'm going to, regardless, do what I do. Like, I'm gonna like be who I am. I'm gonna give who I want to give to, but just not expect anything from anyone.
So what you feeling that, is there some more so like how you feel towards your parents? Because obviously I'm thinking myself, that's not something you gonna portray for your family. So with that being said, is that something you more so feel with your family, like you kind of feel some type of anger towards that? Because obviously that's not something you're gonna want if you end up having kids and the whole deal like that. You not gonna want to be like, I'm not gonna tell my kids how I'm not proud of them, and like I'm gonna have them just thinking the whole time. You like, I'm gonna show them and tell them I'm proud of them, I love them. Because obviously that's something you even now do in your relationship. You let her know I love you, not just I show you I love you. So for now, you doing that with your kids and shit. Is that something now, thinking back with your family, that you kind of feel some type of anger towards that?
To me, I don't think it's in me to even like feel anger towards it, especially towards this my parents or anything in general. I just feel like I'm gonna take it and learn from it, and I just gonna like, to me is like, my parents didn't have the education that I got. Like they didn't have the resources that I had. So for me, I want to change everything about that. And I want to make sure every future generation that I have in my family, that they're going to be okay. They're going to be well off. They're going to succeed in whatever they do. Like I'm going to be able to teach them what I learned, like from everything that I applied myself to. And for me to feel anger towards that, I think it's just going to stunt what I built. To me, it's like, I don't think it's going to help me as a person to even feel that way. So because I love my parents to death. So
of course.
There's just like,
and this is no way, shape, or form me putting out there.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I know.
This
You
is
just
more
want to
so
like
me just seeing how you felt on the situation. Type shit.
For sure. And I never thought of it like that way, but like to me, I guess I'm just so used to it that like this is how things are gonna be. Like I'm gonna be the way I am, and I'm gonna be like crazy successful. And so is my future generations. Like they might not see that now, but then they will see that when everything comes full circle.
So with them not being the people who really told you how much they're proud of you, do you actually have people around you who tell you, like actually acknowledge your accomplishments and let you know that you actually are doing something?
I think more so just like, for sure, the people around me, like I always do get very positive compliments of everything that I do. So there's
how do you take that? Do you take it as like, damn, I am really doing something, or is another thing like you kind of brush it off to the wayside?
I don't know. I guess I never really thought of it. I just like,
because people, like you said, you got people who love you and telling you you fucking doing something.
Yeah.
But in your mind, you're like, oh man.
Oh no, I guess because I just expect a lot from myself. So like, I know where I'm supposed to be. I know like what I'm supposed to do. So then like, I just have, I'm really like committed to that. Like I just know like.
But you on your journey don't mean that you can't acknowledge your accomplishments as well.
Yeah.
Obviously, you want to get to a certain plateau and a level and elevate and keep climbing, but that don't mean along the way that you're not just supposed to be like, oh, you know what? I am actually doing some shit. Like, oh shit, I actually am doing it. And people telling you that shit, but like you said, in your mind, you kind of just like, oh, you know, I know what I'm supposed to be at though. And you almost don't take it as an accomplishment. It's more so like, I need to go harder. I fucking need to do more. But when you keep doing that shit, when you going to even get to a level, because you fucking set a number, and it's going to be like, okay, cool. Now I'm at the number. Fuck, I know I could fucking get at least fucking 6 mil or more. Then you get to that number, it's like, fuck, you know what? I could do a little bit more. So when do it get to the point that it's like, I made moves? That you actually love the shit that you like, actually acknowledge the shit you're doing.
I think with me, like life in general is a marathon. So like
100%.
To me, you're going to have to like, you're going to work for it. You're going to figure out how to utilize your time and use it as leverage. So everything that I do, if I'm going to like, I'm going to use this time because I feel like I'm in my prime. So I'm going to learn as much knowledge as I can and then take that knowledge and leverage it. So if I could learn a skill and then now hire 50 or 100 people to take that skill and then now make money off those like 50 or 100 people because of the skill that I learned, it's me leveraging my time. So like to me, like taking the knowledge that I know and leveraging it is going to be like a very big accomplishment for me. Like to me, yes, I feel like I have done a lot, but I haven't done enough for myself to like sit back and be like, I'm good, because I'm not good. Like I want to be at a certain point and I want to get there. I'm very like determined now. Like I'm so focused in learning as an individual. Like I will invest everything I can to help me grow as a person, to reach knowledge that help me avoid certain mistakes, to find mentors that like I look up to and pay them for certain knowledge that like I want to get to. Like there's a lot that I like want to learn, but to me, I can't get complacent. I can't be comfortable where I'm at. Like,
so you feel like complacent. So with you saying I can't be complacent, are you proud of yourself right now? Thinking back from what you even came from to now, are you proud?
I'm very happy with what I built, 100%.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
and
no
you
doubt.
being proud don't mean you being complacent, because you're proud, but you're still fucking going for higher goals.
Yeah.
So you even saying how proud you are of yourself and what you became isn't you being complacent. And in a way, I feel like you low-key still feel like me saying like, nah, me being like that make me, I'm gonna slow down my grind.
I guess that's how I never thought of it that way, but yeah, right now I'm just so motivated to get where I want to go.
And that's not for me to try to stray you any type of way. I just really want you to realize that you should be proud. I
appreciate that. No, for real, I do.
Yeah, that's for real. Because it's like, you got to really think back to year 1 when you was making X amount of meals. And now year 6, it's like, yo, we fucking elevated to a way different level. And more people even that I've even thought know about this shit. And it's only going to elevate more.
100%.
Because your consistency that you continue to do and the quality of product you put out, it's going to only get better. And like you said, you're going to be able to teach it to people, and they're going to be able to then execute the same product that you're trying to do. So you could even do more because you're not having to cook 30,000 meals, whatever the case is. The number is. So it's like, you really should recognize like what you actually been doing.
Appreciate that. Yeah.
But what got you into fitness? Actually, what was football like for you?
Football was
how many years you do football?
4 years. Football was fucking tough. Football was like a full-time job. Like,
and you had a job.
Yeah, I think like what it was like from January to June, it was what you put in what 600 hours into football from like training, from like film, like from January to June. You think of that, I was like, damn. And so when I left football, to me was like, if you apply yourself to anything as much as you apply yourself to football, you're going to be successful. Like, and that's like, I tell anyone to this day, like, if you take like as much time as you put into like that sport and put it into anything else, you're going to be successful. But a lot of thing that people struggle with is like taking those first 20 hours of something they want to do.
That'd be the hardest part to start.
Like anything, like you retain the most information of the first 20 hours that you do of anything, but the hardest thing for someone to do is start those first 20 hours. Like, what got you so interested in research? I guess like knowing that there's all this knowledge. I think I read or saw a podcast, and like someone was able to take all the business classes at Harvard by looking at online, like sitting in on the classes online. So to me, it was like he was getting
free school.
Yeah, $150,000 education for free because he was online watching what they were showing to anyone. And to me, that was crazy. Knowledge. I was like, that's crazy. And this cat, I forgot his name, but he was like 18 years old at the time, like learning how to code from Harvard, like IT school, whatever they had
Right.
at 18 years old, like learning from their classes, not paying anything. And then now I believe he's like runs one of the biggest like Amazon like drop shipping shit.
Damn.
So like to me that was like
Inspirational.
all the knowledge is out there. You just have to know like to apply yourself to like be interested and learn about it. Like but you also need a path when you do it. Because you could literally learn about anything. But if you don't have a path, it's very hard to steer exactly what you want.
Yeah. What kept you out the streets? Because that's always an option.
Honestly, it was kind of, I was growing up in Seaside High. Like there was a lot of like gang violence there. And a lot of the homies that I grew up with were in gangs. And like they knew that like I played 4 sports a year. Like for some reason, they just respected who I was, even in high school. And like I would go to like parties and stuff. And my homies, like they would tell me like, gee, like you shouldn't be here. Like for some reason, they like, and I remember this, like it was multiple times they'd be like, you shouldn't be here because they knew I had a lot of going on for myself. So
early on.
Yeah. And this was like in high school. Like one of my
homies,
they were looking out for me they were looking out for me at that time. And to me, I was like, damn, that's crazy. Because I looked up to him because how much respect he had like in the streets and everything. But this was the same person to be like, gee, you shouldn't be here. Like you go to a party and you have like a roll call because one of the gangs were like 2 of the gangs were at the same party. And then your homie looks at you, gee, you don't need to be here. Like to me, that was like, I don't know what it was, but it spoke volumes to me. Like there's a reason why he's telling me this, you know, like, like that was never an interest of mine. I was like, it was just like, that wasn't my scene. Like I was doing something I was very respected by everyone, like even in high school. So for him that I even looked up to, like in the streets and stuff, it was like, to me that
him to tell you like you don't need to be out here. It's like another move. So I'm like, yo, maybe he right. Because he's out here and he's telling me, yo, you shouldn't be out here. Bro.
Yeah, it was like,
this is not the move for you.
Like I haven't seen him since or anything, but I known him all through high school, and like I know when I see him, like I'm gonna very very appreciative.
That'd be dope.
Because he doesn't understand like him doing that made a big impact on why like I never not even thought about going that route.
Yeah. So hopefully, I mean, if some way somehow he actually even came across it and he was like, yo, I actually helped stray him another way than going through the shit I was going through.
Yeah.
So what I actually said earlier, what actually got you so tough into fitness? Because I know you be putting in them goddamn hours in the gym too.
It was for sure playing football. Playing football, we always lifted. I always lifted weights in high school, and then Chris actually was the one who got me lifting weights. He's like, "Why don't you do a powerlifting meet?" I was like, "What? What the fuck's powerlifting?" Like, powerlifting did not exist like at that time. What existed was strongman, and that's the only thing I knew. I was like, "I'm not gonna."
These are motherfuckers with pulling the goddamn semi trucks and shit. Right?
Yeah, they'll be like so that's the only thing I knew. I was like, I'm not gonna carry a log down some street or whatever. Like I'm not gonna pull a semi truck. I was like, what are you talking about? And then I guess he he got me into it. I was like, all right, I'll train for it. I was like, and then I signed up for my first powerlifting meet at Metroflex Long Beach in like October of 2015. And then I won first place on it. I was like,
first place.
I was like, damn, this is pretty fun.
And that was your first time signing up, and you won first place.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know what I was doing, but I was like, damn, I didn't realize how strong it was until like that put me like ranked in the nation or something when I first did my first powerlifting meet.
God damn. You still do powerlifting?
I still lift heavy, so that's something I always will do. I wouldn't like. There's certain like numbers I want to hit, just because like that's what I always like want to make sure I always do. As for competing, to me, it's just I'm getting a little older, so the joints are a little different now. Yeah. It's like when you squat 600 pounds now, it's your body's telling you like 3 days later, like
you still squatting 600 pounds?
Yeah, I think I saw it like what 635, like 675. Yeah,
That's fucking crazy
don't
as
get me
hell.
wrong, it's just so heavy.
Oh, I know that motherfucker heavy.
Fuck,
I'm just
not.
the fact that you even still like waking up and be like, you know what? I want to try 675 tomorrow. I'm like, why the fuck you doing that? You could do a lot less and you still gonna be strong as fuck.
I guess because I love being the fact that I could still do it.
Mm.
Like I do it. Like,
What was the point you felt like you was down and was still able to then come back up?
what do you mean? Like,
As far, it don't have to be through your business. It could be any point in life you felt like you probably just wasn't your best self and was able to pull yourself out the trenches.
I guess like when we were me and Chris were on like a big powerlifting team called Strength Cartel.
See, Chris, that's like your brother.
Yeah, so me and Chris, like we started, like we were on Strength Cartel and we were traveling the nation. We were like going to powerlifting meets. We were having meet and greets at all the expos. And during this time, I still had Simply G meals. So then like we were traveling all over the country. And then I couldn't focus as much time on my business. And so at that point, my business was...
So the fitness was more important than the business at this point.
I thought it was. I guess because I was so consumed into like us, like being
kind of the
seen,
brotherhood.
well, just being seen by a lot of people. I think I liked the attention that we got during the time. So it was just like, I just got so like involved into it when like in reality, Simply G Meals was like
Was getting all the attention anyway.
what I wanted to do, like, you know. So then like at that point it was like came to a point where the meal prep company almost failed. So then that's when I had to take a step back and really think like, what am I gonna do? And that's when I like isolated myself and regrew everything. And from that day, it just grew to where it is now.
Have you ever thought of another avenue you would take if Simply G Meals didn't exist?
Have I, like, if it didn't exist?
So say that didn't work for you. Did you ever think like, okay, if this don't work, I'm gonna do this? Or there was never another road?
To me, honestly, no.
Yeah.
That's
like, why it's like it is, the question isn't summed up for you to be like, oh no, there was this time. It's like, nah, if that wasn't the case, then hell no.
No,
I never saw another
the
path.
reason why, because I didn't apply it enough for it to even work out. So to me, it was like the reason why I was gonna fail is because I stopped showing my attention to it. And with anything, you stop showing your attention to it, it's not gonna do well. So once I started showing my attention back to it, it just started flourishing. So as when you say, was there something else I had in mind? No. Simply G was always going to work. And I was going to make it work.
Yeah. What brought about you to be such a go-getter?
I guess me.
It seemed like since forever, you've been a god. Look at her, but it is so big. She looks like one of those black guys' girlfriends or something. No, there was no need. That brought me back. That hella brought me back to them times. I used to sing that song like a motherfucker. Oh my gosh. Becky, look at her, but it is so big. She must be like one of those rap guys' girlfriends or something.
Sorry.
No, I don't know why y'all apologizing.
No, so I'm so boring that she had to go on TikTok to do that.
No, we hella good. 100%. We hella good.
Cheers.
We hella good. Yes, sir. Cheers. Indeed. Hella. Nah, we love that shit. Nah, we love that shit. What is your I don't even know if there's an end goal for you for your business. Because I know you always trying to level up and get to different plateaus. What's the next thing for you?
To me, it's not even an end goal. It's
right.
Something that I always wanted to do was like I never had a mentor. So I never had someone to like teach me like how to do certain things.
And when you say a mentor, Because like you said, like your dad low-key taught you to grind. What do you consider to be a mentor?
A mentor, more so someone that's...
Are they more hands-on?
No, they're more, they were successful in their field.
Okay.
So someone that's like, you want to do, like, you want to be successful in a certain type of field. To me, that is a mentor, right? But a mentor is not going to give you information unless you pay them.
Mm-hmm.
So then, like, to me, it's very important to find a good mentor and a mentor that has a path, right? So like, you could look at a lot of motivational speakers online, right? They're going to have certain things that you like about them, that they're going to motivate you, but you need to find a niche, something that you want to learn from, someone that you want to, like, that you could literally learn from, and they have a guideline of how they got there, and
right.
what, like, and it is very important that, yes, it's very important that you're going to have to pay for that, because they get to those spots because they took a lot. Like, for me to cook this meal, it took me a lot to
give you this game,
to learn the skill, right? So the knowledge that they have, it took them a lot. So they're gonna not just give it to anyone, right? They're gonna make sure that they're gonna, like, find someone that's gonna pay for it.
Pay for this, because that mean they serious about it.
Yeah, and it to me, it's a shortcut, right? It's a shortcut, but it's a shortcut that is worth it, because that's what you want to do. But you got to do your due diligence. You got to do research. You got to make sure that, like, what they did was very, like, it was successful. You know, just, like, don't get some random, like, the first YouTube ad or something that you see, like, do you want to own this Ferrari? No, like, you got to do your due diligence, do research, like, make sure you understand their mores, their values, because, like, in the end goal, that's what you're going to look for. That's what you look forward to.
And who was a mentor for you?
I didn't have one, honestly. I wish I did have one, because I would have got to where it was a lot faster. But to me, I understood, like, now, like, that is very important. Like, I wish I had a mentor, but right now I'm just learning, like, a lot of people on YouTube, a lot of people that I look up to, but I never had a mentor. I honestly wish I did. Like, I didn't understand.
Somebody to teach you this game before you have to go through so much. You have
anything,
to go through.
bro. Like, can you explain, like, what's an LLC?
Right.
Like, how do you get a fictitious business name?
Yeah.
Where do you apply for, like, a license? Like, what is this? Like, what do you do when you go to a city hall? Like, no one knows that kind of stuff. Like what is a business insurance for? Like, no one, like, these are kind of stuff that, like,
and it's actually important.
Very important. Yeah,
things.
you got to know, like, what's a sales tax? Why do you have to publish your name into a paper before you get a fictitious business name? Because like, there's so many things that there's don't
levels to the shit.
And it's crazy. It's very simple, but it's never taught. That's the crazy part about it.
And I guess more so, what even made you go so heavy on the business mindset, and even now look up the information for yourself if nobody was there to even teach it to you?
Because I see a lot of the mentors that I that I watch and that I see, that they were able to excel of where they at because of what they learned, and they took the time to apply it to themselves. Like, if you have all this knowledge, but if you don't apply it, it doesn't mean anything. You know, so then, like, you learn all this game and stuff. You learn everything. Like, you be smart as cat, but if you don't apply it, if you don't have a plan, it means nothing.
So with you going so hard with this business that you got already orchestrating, what makes you go that hard? And you don't have any kids right now, right?
Okay.
So with that, is that something you more so looking forward to, or what keeps you going so hard?
I guess.
Do you want kids?
For sure, I want kids. I got to pass on these genetics. That's like. But I'm just like, for sure, I just know that, like, there's a lot of things that I want, and one of the biggest things is stability. And I feel like me doing doing all this work now, it's gonna create.
You don't feel you stable right now?
I feel like but I'm stable for myself. Like,
so not stable enough for a family.
I want my future generations to be stable. I want my grandkids to be like, you're gonna have this property, this, like that, like something like my parents couldn't provide. Like, I want to be.
Like, you're not thinking for the now. You're thinking for generations.
No, I'm looking at like 4 or 5 generations down the line. Like, because like you could do that, like, and it's very possible. You just have to apply yourself to it. And like if I gain this much knowledge and this much skill now, I'm gonna be able to apply it and get there.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like that's just my mindset. Simply G Meals is gonna be successful regardless.
Right.
No, but I'm like, how do we become a billionaire before I die? Like that's what I think about.
You want that B?
100%. That was like, and it's gonna take very strategic moves to get there. And you got to learn a lot. You got to learn a lot in a very short amount of time. So like,
what brought you to the numbers that you come up with? Like, I want $1 billion, and that's what's gonna make me like, okay, I'm good.
To me, it's not even like, realistically, it's not even like a numbers thing. It's just like, I said this in my last podcast that like I had a goal when I was in college to make $1 million before I was 30. And I did it when I was like 26 years old. And then my next goal when I turned 30, which was last year, was to make $40 million before I'm 40 years old. But for me, having that mindset of making $40 million before I was 40 years old stunted my growth.
Because you could even, I mean, if you really put it to it, like you can make more than the 40.
I'm going to take my time to make 40 million before I'm 40.
Mm-hmm. Right?
But if I set my goal at 400 million before
you're going to go that much harder.
And then even if I fall short, I make what, 300 million? I'm still going to 6X my goal.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so then that was me stunting my growth. So then like, that's how I think of things.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because it's possible. You just got to make the right moves. You want to make the right smart moves.
So do you feel success is measured by income?
100%. Not at all.
Mm-hmm.
Success is like, it doesn't have a monetary value on it. Like, honestly, like I am, if I wake up in the morning and just feel happy and gratitude and blessed, like to me, that is very successful.
Mm-hmm.
But as a person, does it make me like achieve what I want? Not at all.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I just want more for myself. I always want more for myself. So
are there any chefs that inspired the meals you make, or that was just something coming up from your childhood and what you like to eat?
I guess I always grew up watching cooking shows and stuff. Like, there's no specific chef that I looked up to,
mm-hmm.
like when it comes to like the meals that I make for the meal prep. Yeah, I'm trying to think.
Nah, if it ain't nobody, then it ain't nobody. It was just like the meals you like to see and what you wanted to try to do.
I just like making good food.
Mm-hmm.
Like whenever like good food brings around good company and makes everyone feel good. So it's just like, can't go wrong with that.
Is there any meals that you look to cook outside your comfort level? Or is there anything that you have like that you're looking to cook outside your comfort level anyway?
I love cooking like everything.
Mm-hmm.
So like if there's something that I try at a restaurant or something, then my biggest thing, how it got me into cooking was when I was little, I would go to like, obviously we didn't have a lot of money growing up. So it was for us to go out to eat was very often, like not often. I mean like, and so whenever like we would go out to eat, there's very little restaurants in our city. So we would go and then like, there'd be a dish I look forward to eating. We'll probably eat it like 3 or 4 times a year because of a special situation. And then knowing like me, I was like, I would always try to recreate that dish. And so that's what got me into like really be passionate about cooking. Because I could take like a dish that you love and like you want, and I would try it and then I would try to recreate it. And that's the dishes that, because I knew we didn't have the money to go eat there every week or every day.
You had to make like something like it.
Yeah. So I could recreate this dish and make it for 30, 40 people at the same price. You know what I mean? Like,
so with your family all being on the Philippines, when's the last time you actually been out there?
I went there in 2015. 2015.
And at that point, you already had the Simply G meals going?
It was, no. I literally so I stopped working for the meal prep company or from the catering company. And then my brother got married in 2015 and we went to the Philippines. And then when I came back is when I started.
What was that like in the Philippines in 2015 for you?
It was very life-changing. It was like, it's a third world country. It made me appreciate everything I have. Like, it made me like realize that like, just the smallest things from like even like toilet paper when you use it in the restroom, it's very humbling, especially like that was right after they had the hurricane in the Philippines.
So they was like rebuilding.
Yeah, so like, and one of the main parts was my family's hometown, Tacloban. So imagine like going to a third world country and going downtown Tacloban and seeing a cruise ship in the middle of the city because they didn't have any equipment to move the cruise ship. So they literally cut it in half and people started living in it, the cruise ship. And
Wow.
then in the say a tsunami came and a tsunami ended up, or
Bringing in a whole ship in the city.
in the middle of downtown, right? So they couldn't move it. What they do, they just cut it in half and people started living in it. So it was a trip to see that. And then you see like the cars still like on the side of the road that flooded and stuff. Like it was a trip. It was like it's hard to explain until you see it. It made me like
you said, that was humbling for you.
Yeah, maybe
like you said, even toilet paper was like, because you come home, it's like, you got toilet paper.
We went there for like 2 weeks. I think I went there for 2 weeks and came back with 0 luggages. Like I left everything there. I was like, what the hell am I doing? Like they barely have any clothes to like sleep in. Like I'm going to leave everything here. Like it was just like going there was very humbling for sure.
Yeah.
And I think that trip alone made me who I am today. Just saying that like my family is living like that in the Philippines, like, and they can't come here. So I got to do my part to make sure they're good.
Definitely. And that's what it really seemed like. It seemed like you really going this hard for like your family and just to create a better future for you guys. With you being the youngest, have your brothers now told you how proud they are of what you have accomplished? Still not even your brothers. They gotta have known. So with that, was that another thing you kind of pushed to the wayside? It's like, okay, they didn't tell me. I know I'm doing what I'm doing, even though they didn't tell me.
Oh yeah, I was.
To me, that's just wild that nobody is telling you, like, well, at least in your tight-knit circle of your family isn't telling you how proud they are that you've done what you have done.
I feel like this is, I don't know, I just always going to be at it regardless.
Regardless, whatever that is. So, I mean, like I said earlier, whoever ain't telling you, I'm telling you, like, you own your shit. So continue. I mean, regardless if I told you or not, you're going to, like you just said, Simply G Mills is going to continue to do what the fuck they do.
Appreciate that for sure.
So while we still got you on here, is there anything you wanted to promote? Any projects you got coming out? Let your socials be known, how people could contact you, anything like that.
I guess just Simply G Meals is my meal prep company. G Money 831 is my Instagram. But I do want to start being just in like the mentorship. So like if anyone wants to reach out or anything and like have any questions about starting a business, feel free to hit me up, because that's something like I wish I had when I was like starting my business. I think to me, like not even I had nowhere to like, I had no one to even ask about like where to even start. To me, those like I literally had to do all my research through Google to figure everything out. And like it doesn't have to be like that. Like it just like I think I want to start like being more of like an advisor when it comes to this stuff, like even when it comes to financial stuff or anything. That's just like, to me, that is a big part of like being successful, just being able to manage that kind of stuff.
Shit, from you even saying that's something I could soak up my damn self. You putting that out there for them people, I'm gonna hit your ass up on the goddamn business aspect, because I'm trying to do this my damn self. So that's something for me to actually tap into. So I'm glad that you even said that.
For sure, bro.
Like I said earlier, man, I appreciate you giving us your time. It has been another episode of the BiGG Umbrella Podcast, and it's a wrap.
Appreciate it.
There we fucking go. We got another one in the bag. Well, let's get some tacos, nigga. Can we really get some tacos? You trying to get some tacos? Let's get some tacos, nigga.